Hello everyone, welcome back to Trophy Travel Experiences. Today I'm doing a video on the Bernini Express and in particular the travel from Milan to Tirano. So the Bernini Express is a special scenic railroad train from Tirano to St. Moritz. But in order to get to Tirano, generally speaking, you have to take the train from Milan to Tirano. So I'm starting this journey from Milan to Tirano. And so this is the station Centrale, which is where you take the train from Milan to Tirano. And I was a little skeptical because I've always thought that the central station was very busy and kind of sketchy, but I thought it was actually very well organized. So if you'll see, there's going to be a board, and then even if you have luggage, there's these escalators up that you can use. You go up 2 floors, and that's where you get to the train pass or the train station. You have to kind of figure that out. One of the things with Italian trains is that they are very unreliable. So there's always a lot of strikes in Italy, and likewise a lot of delays and lots of changes. And in our train, we actually missed the Bernini Express, even though I was there one train earlier. I kind of had expected delays, but not knowing that the actual train that I took from Milan to Tirano didn't go to Tirano. It actually stopped midway, and so we had to take another train somewhere else. So this is my initial train from Milan to Tirano. As you can see, if you have big luggage, there's not a lot of place to store it. You can place it overhead, but if you have heavy luggage that's hard, you can place it maybe underneath the seat. And on this picture, you'll see that some people actually just put it near the door. I wasn't happy to do that just because it was, someone I guess could take the luggage right out of the train if they were near the door, but it didn't happen in this train. I also tried to take first class tickets, which is a little less crowded, so that might help. And so we actually ended up just having the luggage near our seats. The train ride from Milan to Tirano is actually quite scenic. It's actually about 2 hours and 20 minutes. And the only thing is that, again, if you have big luggage that really doesn't have a lot of space for you to store. Having said that, if you're in first class, I don't think it's that busy. I would say it is scenic, but I wouldn't say it's like spectacular. And so, in essence, I'm not sure if it's worth it to go to the Bernini Express. But if you're going to do this, again, it might not be essential to do the Bernini Express, as we missed the train because of stoppages in Milan. And so it might be just better to take the regular train, which from Tirano to St. Moritz, which goes about 4 times a day. So again, the Italian train system is not that reliable. Sometimes there's some strikes, and in our situation, they kind of announced kind of just on the train in Italian and one time in English that it wasn't going to Tirano, and that we had to actually get off at a certain station. We didn't actually hear it, and actually we were not really notified of this, so you really have to be on your toes here. We were lucky that we actually got off the train when we figured out that it was actually going back to Milan, and through some fumbling and speaking to other people that were in the same situation as us, we finally found the right train to go to Tirano. When we got to Tirano, we actually were late for the Bernini Express, so we didn't get on that, but we got on our first class train from Tirano to St. Moritz. And in hindsight, that was a better train because, as you can see by these pictures, the windows even in first class can be lowered, and so you can take clear pictures, whereas on the Bernini Express, there's no windows to lower. They're just like glass windows, floor to ceiling windows, and therefore it's very hard to take pictures. You'll have a bit of a glare. Switzerland, I would do the Glacier Express, which is a 9-hour train ride from St. Moritz to Zermatt. I think that's well worth it among all the trips that we made. If you have to do it this way and you have to get on the tram line from Tirano to St. Moritz, I would not worry about the Bernini Express. I would just take a regular first class train, which comes 4 times a day and has windows that you can open, and actually is less crowded than the Bernini Express, which is kind of crowded with a lot of tourists. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, safe travels.